Hello and welcome to this short explanation of gender inequality, part 1. So with gender inequality we look at the idea of division and inequality in terms of life chances between men and women, males and females. We can talk about several areas in which that occurs. So we can talk about areas of social life, such as the family. We can talk about the idea of roles in the family being different. Talk about the workplace and the pay gap, which is actually around 20% between males and females. And we can talk about health, where men actually have shorter lives. Women live longer but suffer ill health for longer. And we could talk about education, where women are accelerating past males and more successful at GCSE by 10% and are also more successful at degree level, getting higher degrees. With the first point on gender inequality in an essay, I would talk about what gender inequality means and refer to the difference in life chances, opportunities in areas of social life, such as those I've given. For each of those areas you could talk about perspectives. So the first one we could start with would be, let's give functionalism first. So the functionalist view has several elements. Firstly, they see society as made up of interdependent parts which function as a whole. So the family and health and education, these are different parts of a society that work together to make the whole thing survive. But also at a smaller level, the roles of individual members of society also have purposes or functions for the whole society and the whole group to benefit from. So the roles of men and women are seen as different because that is functional. It's desirable for men and women to have different roles and different rewards, different areas of power and status. Not necessarily with one group or one sex being more powerful, but just powerful in different areas. Parsons and Bales distinguish between the instrumental and expressive roles. So this is really saying that they have important roles. Men and women both have important roles, which are naturally different. And so the male is the leader in the sphere of work and politics, which is the public sphere, which is outside the home. The female is also a leader, but in the private sphere of the home and the family and relationships. And she's an expressive leader, so she is responsible for managing emotions. Human capital theory emphasises that each individual has a different level of capital, human capital. We've talked about types of cultural, or we can talk about cultural capital, social capital. Capital is a resource that can be harnessed in order to generate wealth, essentially. So capital is a resource which is harnessable to generate wealth. And human capital is the resources within the human in terms of their skills, knowledge, their abilities, capacities, faculties, everything they can do which can be harnessed to build wealth. And Robert Bloch argues that women have an opportunity cost. They sacrifice the opportunity of career because they invest their human capital development, or they invest the development of their own skills and knowledge in motherhood rather than career. So this is emphasising the sense that we have a choice and we have an opportunity, and we sacrifice opportunities when we make choices. So in a sense, we've got the right to a career, but if we choose not to take a career, then we are sacrificing the opportunity of career. That is actually supported by Catherine Hakim. Catherine Hakim is a postmodern feminist, and her view supports this idea of human capital. She argues that women's preferences shape the consequences of their income and status. And the main preference, 60% of women, are adaptive women. That is, they focus part of their time, part of their self-investment in career, and part of their self-investment in the home and the family, child caring and so on. And so, since she argues that there is now equality between men and women are now choosing to invest themselves in work, but not fully, she argues the reason for gender inequality is essentially preferences rather than structural constraints. So it's not barriers, it's choices. Let's give some evaluation points for that view. Okay, so it says here, human capital ignores the structural constraints on opportunities for women. Some theorists would support the functionist view and say there's evidence of biological differences, and that would be Stanley and Wise. Oakley is a feminist who would say gender is socially constructed. It's not naturally determined, and the roles don't suit the sexes. It's merely culture which shapes how we behave. We could argue that Parsons and other theorists are white, middle-class males. Their view is now outdated, with changes in the labour market, and they're seeing things from a white perspective. They're ignoring racism, which affects women in different ways, sexism, which affects women differently to men. So the new right perspective would support functionalism, and we can go further into that in the next video.